Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today we're going to jump into the weekly loot cave for the week of February the 11th all the way until February the 18th. This week we've got a few good farms. Honestly, it's a pretty good week if you're looking for finishing up some of your reactors. Guys, I have been away for quite a while. I ended up going on vacation, and then I ended up getting the flu right as I got back, so I do apologize for the upload schedule. It's been super wonky, but I am back. We're going to start making videos and get ready for Season 3. But if you didn't know, the Weekly Loot Cave is a series where I give you the most efficient farms each week in the first Descendant for some of the most notable reactor drops if you are looking for them. So let's jump right into this week's video. But don't forget to follow me over on Twitch. We're live 5 days a week, and I would love to see you guys over there. Like the video and subscribe if you feel that I've earned it, but let's jump in. All right, now we do have a few good ones this week, but the first one starting out we're going to be talking about is for Ajax. This is going to be a non-attribute and tech reactor available from the Agna Desert located in Mirage Stone. It is going to be a Valby outpost farm, so if you don't know, you just basically turn left a bunch of times, create a circle with Valby's puddle, and you end up doing this after you've kind of cleared the outpost of its pylons, and then make sure you don't kill that center boss. As long as you don't kill that center boss, you'll be able to infinitely farm this, and it is how you get the most reactors in the game. This is going to be one of the best ways to get it. And the Ajax reactor and Kyle and Luna, obviously not sound control Luna or whatever Transcendent mod that is, but this is going to be for Ajax and Kyle notably. You're looking for cooldown and tech damage, and obviously the roles are kind of up to you guys. Those are kind of going to be more general roles that I'll put on the screen, but keep in mind each build is different, and there are multiple ways to play each Descendant now with the changes that have been happening. But that is going to be this week's for Kyle and Ajax, again available from Agna Desert in the Mirage Stone location with the Valby outpost farm there. All right, and next up, we have got one of my favorite Descendants in the game right now. This is going to be for Keelan. So Keelan's Toxic and Singular Reactor is dropping from Rockfall in the Sterile Lands. This is going to be pretty much one of the best missions in the game outside of the Valby Outpost farms. You are going to be getting the static drop of Bunny Reactors here as well, which is obviously electric and singular, which is really nice if you don't have a Bunny Reactor yet. But if you're looking for a Keelan Reactor still, this is going to be a really good week to do it. Rockfall is one of the best farms in the game, like I said, outside of the Valby Outpost farms. As far as roles, you're looking for a singular boost and faction type increase, or cooldown and faction type increase. For Keelan specifically, you're looking at Immortality. You want to do more damage to Immortality because they're already weak to Toxic, and then cooldown is always a must on Keelan in my opinion. But yeah, really solid week for Keelan, and a good time to get his reactor if you haven't got it already. All right, and next up, we've got one for Ines. Now, unfortunately, this is going to kick off our string of bad luck static reactor drops we have because there's not a lot of good weekly drops. So Ines's static reactor is going to be available from the hatchery in White Knight Gulch. Now, there is the, obviously, mission you can see on screen. It's up to you if you guys want to use that Freyna tech where you kind of abort the mission constantly. I have a full video on it if you want to know how. You can run any extermination mission you want in the hatchery, and you'll be able to get these reactors. But if you want to do it the most efficient way you possibly can, obviously the Freyna outpost farm is going to be the best way just because of how it works. Keep in mind, you can do this with 2 people if you have a Lepic traction grenade the boss out and just have a Freyna lay down her poisons. It'll be super easy. And as far as the roles for Ines, really up to what you guys want to do. I have Order of Truth damage and cooldown as my top mobbing, and then Colossus damage and crit damage, or Colossus damage and cooldown is my top bossing choice. But again, it's starting to vary quite a bit with what builds people want to do, so I'm just putting recommendations out there. But this is a very solid static farm for Ines, and the one that I'm going to be using this week if I want to get any reactors for her. Okay, let's talk about the next reactor. This is going to be for Freyna, Toxic and Tech. Another case of a static reactor. Unfortunately, this week the Ruins is going to be where the weekly rotation is, and it's just not as good as the Frozen Valley setup that we have for the particle ions as well. You can get your energy activator mats at the same time, and you can get a ton of reactors for Freyna by running this mission. Keep in mind, you can run the Valby Outpost farm right next to it if you have somebody, again, with Lepic to suction the boss out, so that way the boss never has to worry about dying, and you just kind of endlessly do that if you have a friend. Or you can try to get it to work with Valby alone, but typically it's not going to because the boss is a melee boss. Or you could just run this mission and get your particle ions and go on with your day. As far as roles with Freyna, she is not as popular anymore with the new content releasing, but she's still very good. Colossus damage and Toxic or Tech boost is a really good call for bossing. And then if you're looking for mobbing with Freyna, you want to go for Immortality, the faction she's strong against, and then you want to go for either cooldown or Tech boost, whatever of the 2 you prefer. Or you could just go with the general of cooldown and Tech. That's a really good way to go as well. That's going to be my recommendations for Freyna, and that's going to be where you can farm Freyna's reactor this week. Again, another static drop, so not the most fancy, but nonetheless you can get a really good reactor pretty quickly here this week. All right, next up, we're going to talk about Hailey and Viessa, and another case of static drop. So this is going to be located in Converter Facility in Fortress. Valby Outpost Farm, same thing. putting on value, lowering your damage, lowering your range, and going in circles. If you lower your damage and your range and you use the incorrect reactor, this will actually be totally fine. You'll never kill the boss. You'll do just enough damage to kill all the ads. You'll get a bunch of reactors for Viessa and Hailey. Both roles, they're going to be quite a bit quite similar. So for bossing, obviously Colossus damage and crit damage is a really good way to go for both Viessa and Hailey. If you're looking for mobbing, Hailey's looking, at least right now in the meta, as like a cooldown and skill boost against Darkness, which is the faction that obviously is weak to chill. And then for Viessa, it's kind of the same thing if you want to spam your skills, but if you don't worry about skill cooldown, then with Viessa, you can go for a singular boost or a chill boost. It's completely up to you, but those are going to be some of the base and more general roles you can go for if you're looking to get a reactor for Hailey or Viessa. And luckily, they both use the same reactor, so again, you'll be able to get both of them from here, this farm this week. Again, this is their static farm, and unfortunately, there's no good chill and singular farms. The only ones from Kingston, and it's just not the best. Obviously, this is a Valley Outpost farm, and you just end up getting a ton more from it. So yeah, that's why we choose this one this week. All right, and then this week for Sharen, we've got another static drop, unfortunately, not a weekly one. It's still a very good farm, though. It's going to be located in the repository. Mission I'm showing on screen is a dated version of the Valley Outpost. It's the same idea, though. You're going to want to go in circles. It's a little bit harder to not kill the boss now because he does follow you a bit more. However, if you lower your damage and increase your range substantially, you will be completely fine. The boss will take hardly any damage from you if you use the wrong reactor and lower your damage, and you'll be able to get a ton of reactors. Some people think that the Kuiper Mine is faster. I think that you can get this to be faster as long as the boss doesn't die, but to each their own. Obviously, there is the alternative mission, the Kuiper Mine, right next to it there in the sterile land. You kind of just throw on Freyna and AFK, and you're good to go. As far as roles for Sharen, you're going to want to go with cooldown and fusion boost, or cooldown and crit damage for mobbing. And then for bossing, you can go for Colossus damage, crit damage. I would like to throw in the faction damage for mobbing as well. If you want to go Order of Truth damage, that's definitely going to increase your damage against the Order of Truth. Obviously, they're already weak to electric in the first place, so going Order of Truth damage will help your damage substantially there. With Sharen, if you're looking to do a lot more damage, and that is going to be the roles that I'm going to recommend for Sharen. And we'll move on to the next. All right, and then honorable mention, because I already mentioned it at the start of the video, but we've got a bunny reactor, again, farming from a static drop this week. If you haven't noticed, this is a pretty terrible week for weekly rotations. There's hardly any good drops for the weekly rotation, but the static drops are doing pretty good this week, so I'm going to always recommend them if I can, especially on a bad week like this week. But Bunnies is going to be located in Rockfall. Same mission as Keelan this week. I mentioned it earlier. As far as roles on Bunny, you're going to want to go for pretty much any combination of anything you want at this point. Bunny is pretty widely used. There's many different ways to go. I prefer cooldown and duration to make sure that I don't have to run any cooldown mod with my non-high voltage build. If you want my bunny build, you can check out my YouTube channel. I have it on the builds playlist. But that's my bunny. If you want to go for just straight damage, you can do singular boost and electric boost, or you can do singular boost and damage to Order of Truth. But totally up to what each person wants to do. Those are just my recommendations and what I use. But again, a really good farm for bunny. It's a static drop, and you'll also go for Keelan reactors at the same time, which he's extremely fun. If you haven't played him, he's very much like bunny, very fast. So yeah, very fun, very fun farm, and a lot of reactors dropping. I hope you guys enjoyed that one being a 2 for this week, but that's pretty much it for bunny. And that has pretty much been it. It's not been an incredible week for sure, but we do have a lot of news coming this week. Obviously, with the dev live stream start yesterday, I will be covering that in a totally separate video. This is going to be pre-recorded, so I have no idea what they've announced yet. However, I'm looking forward to that. We've also got the changes to the new Void Erosion coming. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Obviously, it is a little bit of a drought session in the game, but I'm looking forward to Season 3, and I'm grinding and prepping all my cores and all my mats for Season 3. I'm really excited for the new Descendant and the new Ultimate Descendant, obviously being teased as Serena, and then obviously maybe Ultimate Blair, Ultimate Enzo. Just super excited for what's to come, and I hope you guys are too. Also, I would like to mention again that I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. I was sick, obviously, right after my vacation, and yeah, it was kind of a struggle there, but I'm back. I hope you guys enjoyed the weekly loot cave. I hope to see you guys over on my Twitch. It has been an absolute blast. I've enjoyed every second of it. I would love to see everybody over there that can hop in. It'll be in the pinned comment below. You can see it on the screen now probably. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like it if it helped you out. Subscribe if you feel that I have earned it. And then keep a lookout for more TFD content, because there's going to be a ton coming. But I hope to see you guys later. Peace out. Goodbye.